Dude, come on.
Is it just not doing it?
No, it's like I'm live, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not dropping that many frames, but I'm still dropping frames. I cannot win. And the fucking people upstairs.
Oh.
Should I just turn off Chrome? Let's try
That
that.
might help. Chrome tends to eat the shit out of RAM.
Like, maybe we just won't listen to music.
That's why I just have Spotify.
Oh, fuck you, that fixed it. Fucking hell.
But we're never gonna survive unless...
Alright. Fucking silent power wash stream. Oh, no, there it goes again.
I can sing for you. I can sing for it if you want.
I don't have Firefox
But we're
installed.
never gonna survive unless...
That's really not helping.
Why not?
Because I'm stressed.
Just trying to help out my friend.
I appreciate it, but try something else. Okay.
You seen the fucking Mario movie?
No, I haven't.
It's good. It's very fun. It's very fun. It is very much an Illumination Studios movie.
That's what I heard.
In that the plot is like paper thin. There's bits every like 20 seconds or so. The visuals are gorgeous. Don't go in expecting like
High art.
le cinema.
I mean, I wasn't even remotely expecting that, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the reviews, it's like this is a child's movie. This is for children, and you're reviewing it like it is le piste de cinéma, and it's like, stop. It's a fucking kids movie. Get over yourself. But my Mario nostalgia. Shut up.
I mean, who gives a fuck about that? It's
Just
a
go to a
live-action Mario
film.
movie. Like,
Yeah.
who cares? I heard it was both good and I heard it was both bad. So I don't know.
It's good in that it is fun. It's a fun film, but it's bad in that the plot is not great, and it's like there was a tweet that I saw that described it really well, in that it is speed running a movie.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby!
Sonic. It's my girlfriend.
Hey, baby!
Sonic has consistently had deeper stories than Mario. It's true. The thing
Very
is, and Alex from I Hate Everything, I think put it the best. He said, it's the, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know if this is accurate, but I thought it was a pretty funny take. He said it's the best thing Illumination's ever made, and it's still shit. I mean, hey.
Honestly, I just say go for it. Have a good time. Go watch it.
I don't
it's fun.
watch a whole lot of movies.
Yeah? You?
No, I really not lately. I haven't. The last actual piece of media that I watched. Well, it was two things. Number one, I was watching Hell's Kitchen with my girlfriend.
Nice.
And two, we're starting to watch Breaking Bad.
Okay. Good show.
And I'm like, I don't know if I have the patience for movies right now.
Fair.
Like I wanted to rewatch all the MCU movies, and that was I got to the first Thor movie, which is like 3 movies in for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
And I quit. I just there's so much shit.
It was kind of fun.
No. First one is mediocre. Second one's horrible.
To be fair, the last time I saw Thor, like the first one, was maybe about 11 years ago or so. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of remember it as like, I had a good time watching it.
Yeah. It's okay. So the first Thor movie. Yeah, I only have
the first one is where he's got like the coffee mug and he's like another, and he slashes.
See, what else? What else do you remember about that movie?
Not a goddamn thing.
Well, there you go. And that's how I would describe it. Forgettable.
It really.
The fucking villain isn't even Loki in the first one, guys. He kind of is, but he's not really. What was the main villain?
It wasn't Loki. It was.
Not really.
It was the Jotun, wasn't it?
No.
Like the the frost giants?
It wasn't the final fight at the end, no.
Then I couldn't tell you.
It was the destroyer armor.
What was that?
Okay, so
was
Asgard,
that wait, hang on.
In Asgard, right?
Okay.
They have a treasure vault of a bunch of really, really strong weaponry that the Asgardians use to defend themselves.
Right.
And Odin has claimed over his many years of conquest of the different worlds. So the thing that defends it is the destroyer armor, which is this giant robot that shoots lasers out of its face. And it's super fucking boring, and I think Loki is the mastermind, but the final fight at the end is them destroying the destroyer armor, and it's really fucking stupid, and I hate that movie.
I don't even remember.
The second one is Thor and the Dark World, which is dog shit. They did bleach his brows in the first one.
Wait, was that the second one?
The second one was Dark Elves.
I don't think I saw. I think I definitely clocked out after the first Avengers movie, where they're all together and they're all having a good time as best friends.
That is where I clocked out originally as well.
And that, I mean, at that point, I had not seen Iron Man 3.
3 is pretty good. I like all the Iron Man movies. I think they're pretty good.
I think I've seen the first half of that one now, but...
okay, so... They do a lot of things right in all the Iron Man movies, and I think you could leave that up to directing or writing, depending on who you ask, really. But I don't know if does Jon Favreau direct the Iron Man movies?
Could not tell you,
because goddamn, that motherfucker made the remake of The Lion King, and
oh yeah,
he butchered the fuck out of that. But
that's a weird get.
I'll talk about that in a minute. But
boy.
So the first Iron Man movie, Tony is horribly vain, and
that's his character. He's a vain dickhead,
and he has a horrible accident, and he vows to stop dealing weaponry to turbulent areas in the world, which is great.
Terrorists.
Which is great. He builds his own big suit, and he fights terrorists. Yes.
He's captured by the terrorists, and then he makes his own suit, and the suit is so that a piece of metal doesn't get to his heart.
That's the reactor in his chest, yeah.
And it's just just go to a fucking surgeon.
He does, eventually. Favreau directed 2, co-directed the first. What? There's a scene in the MCU, I think it's at the end of 3, where he gets the fucking thing taken out. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That is a thing.
I just don't remember because that was such an integral part of why he is what his deal is.
So that's a huge part of the first 2 movies. Iron Man is that the first one obviously he gets the injury, and the second one he's trying to develop a way to not die of this horrible poison, palladium poisoning,
and it consumes him.
Mm-hmm. And then he develops a new element, which I think is really funny. It's really funny, and he saves the day. And then the third one, he saves
Gwyneth Paltrow, and she goes on to create goop.
Yes, true. He did this to us. Robert Downey Jr. did Goop to us.
It's fucking Robert Downey Jr.'s fault. That's why we have Goop and vagina candles.
Anyway. In the third movie takes place not too long after the first Avengers movie. And Tony has horrible PTSD from going into the Skrull homeworld.
And IBS.
Okay, you know what? I'm just done talking about it.
No, it's fine. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
I think this is a very good choice cinematically. Like my film critic brain tingles and my comic book nerd brain tingles.
No, I agree 100%. In those types of films, it's so rarely addressed in like an action film of like, hey, you just went through some shit. Are you good? And it's just never addressed.
I clocked out at the Age of Ultron, came back for Civil War, because little Bug Hero arrived. And then after Endgame, I watched them here and there. So, I guess we could. I kind of want to go through all of them real quick.
I think I was interested in like the idea of Civil War, but more so on the comic book end, where it's like, oh, they're fighting each other now, and also Captain America gets fucking sniped.
He does. And he goes back in time and then comes back.
Spoiler alert.
Bucky Barnes is Captain America for a little while.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like Bucky. Anyway, so Jay and Anna both said I should go through them all. And you know what? I will. MCU movies in order. Okay, fine, we'll do it.
Oh yeah, there's like a quote unquote proper order to watch.
I always watch them in release order. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I've just seen like, oh yeah, there's the release order, but this is the real one, and it's like
who gives a shit about that? Just watch them as they came out.
Fucking dweeb.
Okay, so the first Iron Man movie, I think, is a very good one. I like that movie a lot. I actually just recently went through every MCU movie with a few of my friends, and I was drunk as shit, to be fair, but I kind of remember what I said. I think the first Iron Man movie is like a very graceful way to start. I don't know if they had major grandiose plans for an MCU at that point. I think that started with Hulk, which was the second movie.
Wait, did they actually do a Hulk film? Mm-hmm. Other than, like, because it was Edward Norton who did it first, right? And then they had Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. So the Edward Norton one is the MCU.
Oh.
So the first Iron Man movie is very, very good.
Why did they switch it to Mark Ruffalo then?
I will explain that here in a sec.
Okie dokie.
So I think Robert Downey Jr. is like fucking born to play Tony Stark.
Yes, 100%.
He's perfect in the role in every way. His real life is almost scarily analogous to Tony Stark's life, which is, I think, just gives him more reason to really get into the role. And hey, I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then there's the only Hulk movie, I should say.
Mm-hmm. With Edward Norton.
It is, and I was talking about this, I think, not too long ago, where it's a very graceful... It gracefully kind of mixes genres. It's a spy movie. Like, the first Hulk movie... The Hulk movie is a spy movie. Like, yeah. and it's a complete tonal shift from Iron Man 1. Because Bruce Banner's a completely different person. And, like... I
remember this.
So, he's hanging out in fucking Argentina... Or Brazil or something, and he's like working at a fucking Coke, like a soda bottling plant, and he's on the run from the U.S. government, and so he's communicating through like a text chat program with this fucking dude.
He's chatting on Discord.
Mm-hmm, he's chatting. He has a Discord. He's Discord moderator on Find a Cure for the Hulk Discord, and he's chatting with this fucking like. A dude from New York about like finding a cure, but he can't get back to the States.
The guy from New York is just trying to tell him to eat a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to get back to the States.
Anyway, so it just basically becomes like a fucking like spy movie. It's fucking great. I love that movie. Iron Man 2 is very good too. It kind of develops the character a little bit more, fleshes out the world at large, because now he's kind of working for Shield, but it's not really implicitly said yet. Tony talks a lot about like helping Shield, this government agency that doesn't have a name in the second movie.
Yeah.
But they're just he's
the
kind of
Avengers edition.
No. They name it at the end of the first one. That's right. They name Shield.
Yeah.
Black Widow was introduced. Very good.
Oh yeah.
Then there's the first Thor movie. And I just don't think I've ever liked Thor as a character. It's just Norse mythology, and I think that's a little boring.
It's Norse mythology, but with like the thinnest veneer of like, oh, maybe he's still a person. And it's like, no, just stop. We don't need to do this. We don't need to rip off of the prose Edda. Just come up with your own shit.
It's an okay movie. Right, it's not horrible or nothing.
He likes coffee. He wants another.
It is okay. That's what I will say about it. MCU Thor is flanderized. I think.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Oakley Dokley Thor. Oakley Dokley Odin, my dad.
Then it's Captain America: The First Avenger. It's a fucking World War II movie. It's fucking great.
It is. Okay, I will admit, Captain America: The First one, very good. I liked that one a lot.
I think
it's a war movie. I'm into that.
I think Chris Evans does a very, very good job being Steve Rogers.
He does. I do like Chris Evans as an actor. He's very good.
It's another role that's like almost too well cast. Like he's very good in that role.
Here's a question for you, and this is in no way in comparison of these two films. Right. This is just an assessment of Chris Evans as an actor. Mm-hmm. Captain America or Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I've never seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Have you not?
No.
Huh.
Just kind of refused to watch it.
That's fair.
I read the comic at a very like troubling time in my life, and it gave me that sense of hope, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't read it again, and it kind of fell out of my zeitgeist, and now it's a thing that exists. So I just have no desire to watch the movie.
That's fair. I just forget often that Chris Evans was in that film as like the jock ex-boyfriend.
Captain America films are to me what Iron Man films are to Russ. Fair enough.
I will say I did not see anything past the first one, so I have no opinion.
Let's continue.
I did not see Winter Soldier. I did not see Civil War.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to there.
Yeah.
The Avengers, the first one, saw it in theaters. It's a very, very good movie. As much fan service as you need. Okay. And here's a controversial opinion.
Okay.
They should have kept all the fan servicey shit to the Avengers movies.
Yes. 100%.
Because you are taking time by adding too many people together in these movies. You are taking time away from the focus of the fucking movie.
Yes.
They tried to add far too much, and we will get to that. But you'll see there's a steep decline in my knowledge once we get to a certain point. Iron Man 3, like I said, it's the after effect. It's the first one right after the Avengers.
Yes.
It's the immediate effects of New York trying to rebuild. It talks very minimally about the other Avengers and what they're doing, and I think that's fucking perfect because it's supposed to focus on Tony. It's supposed to be his movie. And
exactly. If you're doing an Iron Man movie, who gives a shit about the other characters? Iron Man is the one that you're doing.
Yeah. but they don't stick to that. Anyway.
No, of course not, because it's a universe.
Thor in the Dark World, you can skip this movie. It adds absolutely nothing other than the fact that it is the fucking reality stone for the Infinity. That's all you need to know.
Oh yeah, it's the gauntlet. Purple Man does the thing.
This is the
makes
second
Spider-Man die.
This is the second part where it explicitly talks about Infinity Stones, I think. The first one is the first the first Thor movie where they talk about the no, that's the first Avengers movie where they're talking about the blue box.
The Tesseract.
Yes, that is the blue.
Yeah, that was so important.
Stone. It's a very important thing. And then the red one is not. It has one movie that has anything to do with it, and that's it. And it's not a good movie, so people just forgot that. Oh yeah, that red thing that infected.
What was the red thing?
It was like
I know it was an Infinity Stone.
It's like a goo that kind of took over Natalie Portman, and
okay.
It's not important. It's really not.
I will also say I have not seen the Guardians of the Galaxy films. Not out of any like particular hatred of Chris Pratt. I just never saw it.
They're the two that I've seen are very, very good.
I've heard that they are good, and I have heard that the third one is extraordinarily dark compared to the first two.
Maybe that's why people don't like it.
Probably.
Anyway, Thor in the Dark World, it's dog shit. It's horrible. Captain America: The Winter Soldier, love the introduction of Bucky.
Yeah.
He's a very compelling character, and we're still kind of because Cap is working for S.H.I.E.L.D. so closely, there are a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents in his movies, and I appreciate that. Because Cap is a man at a time.
Yes.
And so S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of wants to keep him under wraps because they don't want this quite literally superhuman running amok on his own without a leash. So it makes fucking perfect sense. Because this man has no family and nowhere to go, it makes fucking sense. Thor 2, oh look, the reality stone. Exactly. It's the only thing it accomplishes. But yeah, I like Bucky as a character, really do. I like that actor.
You and a lot of people on Tumblr.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say about that. He's fine. It's a fine movie. And what I was saying before about the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, how it's a great spy movie. And this is something that they stopped doing too, right? Genre switching. They completely threw out. They completely threw out like exploring different genres of film. Because
it's all action.
It's all just superhero action schlock now, and it's like, okay, remember when the Incredible Hulk movie was a spy thriller and all the other, but then it just whatever. We'll get to it. I'll talk about my opinion on the whole thing once we're done.
Yeah.
First Guardians of the Galaxy movie it feels like an 80s like space adventure.
Yes.
And so
I remember seeing something about that.
It just feels like an old like B sci-fi movie, and it's fucking great. They pull it off great. Who did that? Joss Whedon. I think no, James Gunn. James Gunn did the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's great. It's a great movie. The first one, Star-Lord is I think Chris Pratt does a really good job as Peter.
Sure. Yeah, it's fine.
I think Zoe Saldana is a fucking great Gamora.
Zoe Saldana is a very good actor.
Yeah, the Power Stone is also that's like it's a huge important part of that movie too.
Yeah.
Is the purple one, the Power Stone. It's good. It's a fine movie. Great. Wonderful. One of my favorites actually out of the MCU, I would say. Avengers Age of Ultron.
That was a thing.
Wasn't
Ultron like the suit, but taken over by something? No, that was another robot.
So in
Explain these films to me so I don't have to see them.
okay, Age of Ultron. So in it, Bruce Banner and Tony Stark are talking about developing artificial intelligence. Like they're like
they're developing Chat GPT.
They're on the cusp of like actually like coming up with sentient AI.
They're coming up with the perfect prompts to make...
Do you want me to fucking even explain these?
Yes, I do! I'm adding levity and comedy. I'm adding bullshit.
You're just
Do you know who I am?
You're interrupting me every time.
It's fine. I'm not preventing you from explaining anything. I'm just adding stupid shit. I'll
Sorry. Anyway, it's good. It's fine.
Sure. Sure it is.
First Ant-Man's pretty good. Paul Rudd is Scott Lang is really good. I think he does a great job. He's also buff as shit in that movie. And I always like buff boys. Captain America Civil War. It felt like an Avengers movie, and that's like I said, that's not something that I like super enjoy.
Yeah, that one was a full, like, even in the comic book, that wasn't just limited to one.
Yeah, exactly
like,
right.
Character focus. That was like all of them, because they were trying to figure out how superheroes actually fit into society. If I'm remembering correctly.
So yeah. A quick breakdown of Civil War in both the comics and the movie, real quick. There in the comic books, there is a team of very young superheroes who are on like a reality show. They're called the Thunderbolts. I want to say. I could be wrong. Speedball is one of the people there. And he is going after a villain by the name of Nitro. And so...
Are they both fast?
Nitro explodes. Speedball's fast.
Oh.
So... They're in a suburb in Connecticut. And they are... During the... They're shooting their show. I think it's a live stream. And Nitro explodes bigger than he had ever had, killing a fuck ton of people in this small town.
Okay.
And
presumably he lives.
He was never seen again.
Oh, okay.
But you know, all the Thunderbolts are fucked, right? And so the U.S. government, because they were just kind of allowing superheroes to exist, now they have to register with the government and become government agents.
It's the plot of Incredibles.
Yes, exactly true. So Captain America obviously doesn't fucking like that. He thinks independent liberties are more important than what the government has to say, which more power to him. Tony is of the impression that that people need to be held accountable. And I agree with that as well. There needs to be a happy medium, but I'm not exactly sure what that would be. So I'm not a huge fan of heroes fighting.
I'm not a writer.
I'm not a huge fan of heroes fighting heroes in general. So I gave it a skip, but I read a lot about it, and it turns out I kind of dig
the idea, just because it's like, you know, it subverts the theory, or it subverts the idea that superheroes are just like these immortal, immiscible beings, and just like flips that on its head. I like that concept.
Yeah. Yeah, Cap dies at the end, and Tony's like, what the fuck am I doing? And that's kind of the end of it. He comes back later, but it's whatever. In the movies... Does he get sniped? Yes, she gets shot.
Oh, okay, so it is true to the comic books.
Yes. Cap doesn't die at the end in the movie. He dies at the end of the comic. That's what I meant. In the movie, Oh, I'm dropping frames again. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
for
there was
really
a bit
long
of
time.
there was a bit of a honk.
Wasn't there for a fucking minute. Okay. Anyway, I think we're back. So, in the movies, right? There is a country during Age of Ultron. They go there and basically the place gets fucking leveled, and Tony starts
Venezuela.
Yeah, it's some foreign country that's like not. It's fake. It's a fake country.
Right.
Tony starts talking to the U.S. government about how they can be accountable, like, because it's all about that. Like he wants accountability.
Yeah.
Cap thinks that that's not a good idea. It's basically the same concept, just they get there differently.
Yeah.
Anyway, Civil War's good. I think it's pretty decent. You learn that, or do you learn that in? Do you learn that Hydra is a huge part of the government in that one?
I mean, I know Hydra was a big deal.
Or is that
in
Winter Soldier?
Cap.
No, because Cap goes into hiding. I fucking cannot remember. That was in Winter Soldier? Okay, thank you. Doctor Strange is a great movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is a passable Doctor Strange. I think he does a fine job. He does a great job. He is appropriately a dickhead. Appropriately enough a dickhead. I appreciate that. At the very beginning, it's a good movie. I think it's good.
I forgot that one existed.
Guardians 2 is better than the first one in a lot of respects. You meet Star-Lord's dad, who is played by the wonderful Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, I love to see Kurt Russell. It's a guy we love to see.
It develops a lot about Star-Lord. It's basically the whole movie's about him.
Yeah.
And how he's kind of growing. I'm a Cumberbitch through and through. Don't say that. I love that man as Doctor Strange. I think he does a fine job, babe. I think he does fine.
Clearly, opinions differ.
I do not think he is the perfect cast.
Who do you think would have been the perfect cast for Doctor?
I don't know.
You seem to have a more intimate knowledge of film than I
don't have like one person. I think he's passable. I think he does a great job. He's
strange passing.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know who would be better. Like, I really don't.
Who could you put a curly mustache on and tell him to do wiggly magic fingers?
Anyone. A British actor, I think.
Fuck it, get John Belushi in there. He'll do it. He's out of work.
That's fair. I'm not defensive. I loved him as Sherlock. You don't have to explain. I understand.
I can just imagine John Belushi as Doctor Strange.
That'd be funny. That'd be great.
It's going through my head now.
Dan Aykroyd. Dan
really
Aykroyd
funny.
would have been great.
Dan Aykroyd would have been perfect. He's already a weirdo. Mm-hmm. He's like super into like alien conspiracies and stuff like that. It's really funny.
Okay, this next one, I don't think is super controversial.
Okay.
But I might get some hate for this one.
Uh-oh. Everybody turn on your cancel buttons.
I think Spider-Man Homecoming is fucking bad. I think it is a bad movie. You can hate me all you want. I genuinely did not like Spider-Man Homecoming.
That is also one that I skipped, although I did see Spider-Man Spider-Verse, which... The sequel I'm looking forward to seeing.
Into the Spider-Verse is one of my favorite movies ever.
into my spider butt. Yeah, it's very good. It's a very good movie.
It's that one you could argue is like cinema, like le cinema.
Yes.
You could judge
Cinema.
that as like
it feels so different from the rest of the MCU.
it is not technically part of the MCU, to be fair.
Right. It's still Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is part of Marvel's whatever.
So there's a huge
isn't that
thing
still
with Sony.
isn't that still? Yeah, I was gonna say that's still Sony.
So Sony bought the rights for like fucking 13 decade, like a long fucking time, to make exclusive Spider-Man movies, and that's why it took so long for Spider-Man to join the MCU. Is because they had a lot of fucking disputes with Sony about it.
Yes.
But yeah, Into the Spider-Verse, it's not on this list because it's not part of the narrative, but it's fucking great.
It's its own thing. It fucking rules. That's it.
The third one is the best, baby. But yeah, Homecoming is bad. I like Michael Keaton as Vulture.
Oh, that's fun.
I love him as Vulture. I think he does a very good job. I do not like the teen drama shit that is shoehorned into the fucking movie.
I mean, to be fair, Spider-Man is a teenager.
He's a high schooler.
You can't call him Spider-Teen.
That 100%. You're right, but like it is.
But at the same time, like
it's not good. Like it's horribly written, and Anyway, moving on. Let's just fucking move on.
Yeah, I mean that's my whole thing is like Spider-Man, sure, it's good, but at the same time, like, we're adults.
You can I will say this, Spader, if at any point you want to watch a Spider-Man movie, skip the first one, go watch the second two. The
what are
two.
you defining? What are you defining as the first one? Because
the first one, Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'm saying MCU Spider-Man movies.
Okay.
Just skip Homecoming. You could watch Far From Home and No Way Home. Those are both very, very good.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. Thor Ragnarok. We were talking about Thor's flanderization, and it's in full display here. So, Taika Waititi directed this movie. I can't remember what else he's directed.
Shout out Taika Waititi.
He's actually great. I really, really like him. I really, really like this movie. But it is not Thor anymore. And I think perhaps that's why I like it. Okay, where is this? Cladding trim? Cladding trim. Oh, oh my god, there's this whole fucking wall.
I can sprint. Fuck.
You just noticed that.
Office overhang. Oh, fuck.
So I like Thor Ragnarok a lot. It's fun. Adds a lot of Thor characters. It's a little too Avengers-y. You know, they're starting to really show their hand like a lot. Like the fact that Peter Robert Downey Jr. is in so much of Homecoming. Going back to Spider-Man for a sec, the fact that he's in so much of that makes sense because
he's Spider-Man's dad.
Yeah, basically, right? He's his superhero dad. And like it makes perfect fucking sense. He's the one who scouted him. He's the one who brought him in. Like it makes sense.
Superhero daddy.
But Hulk being in Thor Ragnarok makes no fucking sense to me. Like it's.
But he shows up and he does big explosion and it's fun. I have a Thor, and he just shows up.
Anyway, it's fine, right? Thor Ragnarok's good. I like it. It's just I understand why people don't. Black Panther is one of the best superhero movies I have ever seen. It does it does a fantastic job. Yeah, Chadwick Boseman was perfect.
R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
Perfect for the role. Perfect in every way. They wanted Planet Hulk. They should have given us a Planet Hulk movie, Jay.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done.
You want to do Planet Hulk? Do fucking Planet Hulk.
They could have done it in
Hulk
a way
movies. The Hulk doesn't have his own movie except for the one with fucking That other guy.
Give Ruffalo a movie. Come on.
Give Ruffalo a film. He deserves it.
Garage door spotlight wall base. Is this garage door? Okay, spotlight.
Yep.
Spotlight. Oh, it's this one. The spotlight.
Wall base. This one here.
Okay. Hey.
Got it. Nice.
All right, let's look at this speed paint.
Look at this fucking thing.
I haven't seen the second one. We might have to watch it. Yeah, Black Panther's great. Michael B. Jordan's a great Killmonger. Let's clean a car.
Let's clean a car.
Avengers Infinity War. Very good. Sets up Endgame very, very well. It's basically Endgame Part 1. That's the best way I can describe it. It is essentially just setting up the end of the saga.
I have heard the same.
It sets up the snap, which is a very important part of the.
I don't feel so good.
Yeah, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
I got a tummy ache.
It's very sad.
It is. I'm sure it's very sad when Spider-Man gets his snap. I still like making fun of it because I have no connection. I have no affinity for these films.
Anyway,
because they bring them back, right?
Yeah,
everyone comes back.
Yeah,
so
at the end of Endgame.
Who cares?
That's comic books.
Yeah. That's comic books. That's a lot of writing. That's like all of what happens in Doctor Who.
If anyone needs my opinion on that, watch the Red Letter Media video. No One's Ever Really Gone. It does a very good job of explaining how people can just come back, and so that's fine, right? Anyway, yeah, there's no stakes or anything.
Yeah, never mind that they died. Who cares? It's more fun to have the character back because everybody likes the character.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm gonna be honest, I can hardly fucking remember that movie. They go into the metaverse and they
talk to Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, they find a Wasp's mom and bring her back from the metaverse.
She's just addicted to being in the goggles.
Yeah, she just wants to. It's funny. It's okay. It's okay. I remember it being all right. It's not great. Captain Marvel's dog shit. And I'll explain why. I don't hate the character. I just don't like how Brie Larson portrayed her. I think it's an interesting concept. I think there are a lot of very good story beats in it. I like the addition of the cat. We love Cat.
We love Cat.
But yeah, it's bad. I don't think Brie Larson should have. You got 2 minutes in. I just don't want to. I don't want to talk about it because it's already been talked about to death. Brie Larson was the fucking worst pick for Captain Marvel.
I remember people on Twitter like defending her, and I was just like, "Huh, this is discourse."
She shouldn't have been defended. Carol Danvers is nothing like how she's portrayed in the movies. She's not uppity, like that uppity anyway.
Is that her? Is that the actor or is that the writer?
I think it was how Brie Larson was directed, and I also think it was Brie Larson. Anyway, we don't need to talk about this one. Everyone already knows this shit. It's not a hot take at all. It's a lukewarm take at best. Avengers Endgame is great. It's a great ending to the saga. Everything gets wrapped up in a nice little bow. You know, we have a sad ending because we need a sad ending, but it's filled with hope because that's how superhero movies are. You need sadness. You need melodrama. People need to there need to be stakes. You know, and it's good. It's a very good movie. I think it wraps everything up in a nice little bow. It's wonderful. Spider-Man: Far From Home is right after that. So everyone gets snapped and then brought back, and so Spider-Man: Far From Home is like the first movie where people are trying to reintegrate
Deal with that.
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of world building in Far From Home where because it's like, a snap support group and stuff like that, and I really like that.
I do like me some good world building.
So Mysterio is played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes, I remember that. I remember seeing like the ads for that.
Unbelievably good. I was talking to someone about this where
Jake Gyllenhaal comeback?
Yeah, for sure. Where they were talking about how they didn't know that Mysterio was like a phony, and I'm like, yeah, that's his whole character. He's just a big phony, and like he's portrayed in such a way it's like perfect. I have issues with the snap in general, not the concept, but what they did with it after bringing them back. I like the world building that they added, but everyone, you are allowed to feel differently.
I personally think that if you are going to pull the move of killing off as many characters as you can,
half of the planet,
leave them. Who gives a shit? They're gone.
They couldn't have killed Spider-Man off. They couldn't have killed.
No, they really couldn't have killed that.
They couldn't have killed Peter Quill, Star-Lord off. They couldn't have done that. They couldn't have. There were so many people they lost.
It's true, and they couldn't keep them. Like, I understand the reasons why they could not keep them dead, but I'm personally of the mind that like if you're gonna kill that many characters, they're gone. Who cares? I'm done with that. Give me something new. Give me a story, like how the people left are dealing with that. Obviously, you get that with Endgame.
Yeah.
But
dude, Endgame, like 95% of that movie is them dealing with like them losing. Like it's so compelling. Hey. I love race car.
Still says 9. Oh, there it goes.
We did a pretty good job. Okay, next one. Black Widow, didn't watch it. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, didn't watch it. Eternals, didn't watch it. Spider-Man: No Way Home, okay. Let's clean a little forest cottage, Spader.
Sounds good. I love a forest. I want to go to a forest. I want to feel the breeze on my skin.
So,
bathe in sap.
Up until I saw Spider-Man: No Way Home, I thought Avengers: Endgame was like the pinnacle of what they could have possibly done in like a cinematic setting for comic books. Spider-Man: No Way Home is the pinnacle. They will never get a better movie than that. I fucking promise you. It ends so many. Shang-Chi was fun until they marveled Act 3. That really sucks. I need to watch that. I need to fucking watch all these ones that I missed. But yes, there will never be a better MCU movie than Spider-Man: No Way Home. You can quote me on that shit. They're never gonna top it. It was like 25 years in the making. Like that, you can't do it.
It all leads up to this.
It really,
and then we have
does.
To do more.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness I thought was okay. I think it is an okay movie. I like them introducing the idea of the multiverse in a way that, like, the world's kind of unmaking, and, like, it's great. It's lovely. Like, there's this big rift, and you're learning more about it, and that's great.
It sounds like a Star Trek Next Generation episode, The Chase, where they come up with an in-canon reason for all of this weird bullshit going.
Mm-hmm.
Or in Star Trek's case, why everyone's a humanoid.
Yeah.
In Marvel's case, why there's all this weird bullshit multiverse stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Babe, okay, listen to me.
Yeah, well, I'm listening.
No, my girlfriend, not you. We need to watch Star Trek Next Gen, please.
Yes!
Anyway,
I would find a curated list from Season 1 and Season 2, and then just go from there.
Yes.
You don't have to watch all of Season 1, unless you really want to see the most racist episode ever. There's a lot that's bad. Anyway.
Where
We've
was
gone
I?
into that ad nauseum. I don't need to continue.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, haven't seen. I haven't seen the rest of these. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, haven't seen. They introduced Kang, who's one of my favorite Marvel villains, but haven't seen it yet. Mildly into Star Trek already, so this is fine.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Good. I am new to it still. I watched all of Next Gen, and I love that fucking show. And then, see, this will be good, because if we watch all of Next Gen and you're super into it, then I can actually go back and finish Deep Space Nine.
There you go.
So anyway,
I've watched all of Deep Space Nine. I've watched all of Next Gen. I've watched all of. I've watched most, if not all, of original series, all of Voyager, all of Enterprise. All of the new stuff that's been coming out, except for Prodigy, even though I've been told it's very good and I need to see it.
And then Guardians 3 just came out the other day. So,
oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then nothing else. They got, okay, so it wasn't the Thunderbolts from, we'll go back a second. I need to clarify something. The Marvels, which is Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is Kamala Khan, Stretcher the Magnificent, if you will. Captain America: New World Order, no idea what that's about. Thunderbolts, it's the team of supervillains. I know what the Thunderbolts are now. Blade, Deadpool 3, we're going to integrate Deadpool into the MCU.
The Blade remake was delayed.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correct.
Okay. So, Marvel, it's Marvel, baby. Marvel Civil War.
Where you curly mustache.
Comic story. Yeah. Let me see here. Because I need to know, like, New Warriors. That's what they're called. Yeah. The New Warriors battle a group of villains in Stamford, Connecticut, while filming a reality television show. Nitro explodes, killing more than 600 people, including school children at the all-new, and all of the New Warriors except Speedball. Speedball is The rest of the superheroes appear in Stamford to search for survivors. Public opinion turns against superhumans. Even the inactive members of the New Warriors are branded as baby killers. So it's like a huge... That was a good storyline, actually. I hate it when heroes fight, but I like compelling stuff like that to where it's like, we need to keep ourselves in check. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I do like that idea of, like, finally they're examining, like, hey, these people are aliens. What the fuck are we doing just letting them go about their business while we're here just being normal and, like, having jobs and shit while they're tearing up major metropolises?
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you wanted soap, right?
Yeah, if we can get, I don't know, something to make it clean good.
Let's go.
I mean, we're cleaning pretty well.
But... I'll get everything. I'll just get one of, like, everything here.
Are they consumable, or do we just... Oh, okay.
I'll just...
Do we like spray down the soap and then spray down the rest of it, or?
You'll see. Okay, I bought every fucking bit of cleaner that we have.
Dope.
Oh, the fucking retaining wall we need to clean too.
Oh god, yeah.
So, hey
that's
everyone.
That's not a retaining wall. It's not retaining anything. That's just a garden
wall.
Damn
it. I didn't buy the fucking soap dispenser. Oh, God. Where is it? The Vista Pro? Or the Vista 3000? What do we have?
I mean, you and I are playing on Windows 10.
Thank you. Vista 3000. Okay, I have just enough money to buy it. Okay. So, hey everyone, welcome to Russ Shows You How to Use Soap. We're gonna go with stone. So you equip your cool thing, and then you just It just gets a very large area very quickly. That's the appeal.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it's not letting me, I don't see where to equip that.
You got to put the soap blaster on first.
Is that in Power Washer or Extend?
It's in not extensions. It's a nozzle.
Okay, I don't have the
Which one are you using? Which goon?
yellow.
Wait. Where are you?
Prima Vista 3000 with the long extension and the degree knot. The 15 degree knot.
Maybe I'm the only one who can use it. That's weird.
Maybe. I guess I'll just go fuck myself then.
Why don't you?
Because we're in the middle of hanging out as friends.
Mm-hmm. There's an audience watching this. I don't know if you knew that.
There are. I'm well aware. That's why I'm trying to be funny and failing.
You're being funny. You're a funny friend. You're my funny little non-binary friend. You know what I mean?
I did do a smile there, so you can't see it because we're not on video chat.
It's true.
But I had a little grin.
You had a guffaw. You had a not a guffaw. A guffaw.
That tickled my feet.
Yeah. Ew.
Ew. Ew.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
That fucking... There's an episode of Best of the Worst from Red Letter Media where Mike's like... He was walking up and Rich Evans is standing there and he goes... Ugh. And he just looks over at Rich. He's like, oh, Rich Evans! Oh, fuck. I fucking love those guys so fucking much. Anyway. Least favorite next gen episode besides season 1.
Outside of season 1, I'm gonna also say that that episode of season 7 also doesn't.
Yeah,
count.
that doesn't count either.
No, that one doesn't count. That's too easy. Anything from season 1 and the episode where Beverly Crusher fucks the alien ghost that her grandma also fucked, that doesn't count.
Oh fuck! Don't spoil it.
I mean, I've said it before on this show. She was directed to act orgasmically.
I remember that. Anyway, there's some stinkers from 2.
There genuinely are. Like, there are definitely some stinkers from season 2. I will say that TNG peaks in
4 and 5.
season 4. It's got a lot of good stuff in season 5.
Mm-hmm.
But
4 is the
season
best
4,
season.
Season 4 is 100% where it peaks.
One of my favorite episodes is Best of Both Worlds. The 2-part.
Best of Both Worlds is like quintessential.
Is that 4?
It's
or the season finale of 4?
No. It's the last episode of season 3 and then the first of season 4.
It's very good.
I mean, that moment at the end, Mr. Worf fire, like, that is one of like the very first like major cliffhanger moments in a TV series. Mm-hmm. Like, I won't say one of the first, but one of the most major cliffhanger moments in a TV series. Like, when it came out, it had my mom on her feet yelling to know what happens next.
That's when you know a show gets you, you know?
Yes.
Anyway, least favorite.
God, I'm really trying to think, because there's a lot.
There's a lot of bad ones.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Well, okay,
there's a lot of mid tier ones, not really like horribly bad ones.
Yeah, that was going to be my point. Is there's a lot of good ones, but so many that are just like you're just kind of watching through the series.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't talk about worst episodes of Next Gen without talking about the season ending of season 2, which was Riker falls unconscious and they have to put him in the clip show machine.
That was bad.
I mean, to be fair, there was a writer's strike.
I don't give a shit about that, right? Like,
I mean, no.
Oh my God.
I give a shit because I stand for workers' rights.
No, that's not what I mean. I don't care that, like...
I don't know about you. You can be a scab all you want across the picket line. I'm going to say no. I'm a person of scruples.
I think that the episode is just not well thought out, even.
No, it's not. It really was not.
It's just like, hey, do you remember everything Riker's done up until this point in the show? And it's
do you remember Anybody Canyon?
Yeah.
Where he's standing on the edge, where there's also the Ferengi, and he's just anybody.
You know what they should have done? They should have done. I don't know if he'd done it too many times up until that point, but they should have like had a compilation of him like stepping over a chair. Like,
oh God. I do that occasionally.
Me too.
I am of a certain height where it is more economical for me to just throw my leg over the back of a chair and sit on it that way.
Did Jonathan Frakes ever fucking talk about that? Like why he did that? He must have, right?
I mean, he's huge.
He is a tall man.
He's like 6'5".
Damn.
No, I think one of my least favorite episodes is I think it's called Evolutions, where everyone devolves.
that one's not good.
Deanna Troy's a fish. Mm-hmm. Worf is a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
No. Worf is a dinosaur. Riker is a Bigfoot. Monkey.
That one's pretty bad.
That one's really bad. I'm trying to think of other ones that just are standout bad, and I genuinely can't think of any.
There's none other than like a few in season 1, and that's season 7 one.
Season 2 as well. There's
some stinkers in season 2.
There's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple of stinkers in season 2. Season 2 has the guy from Scrubs, the guy who runs the hospital.
Oh Scrubs. Yeah.
He plays like a scientist who's trying to like take over the Enterprise to make a supernova happen.
Yeah. I remember that.
That one was genuinely a pretty good reintroduction to like season 2. Mm-hmm. I say reintroduction as if it wasn't the first episode.
Okay, I just thought of one, and now my brain is kind of shutting off. I just had it. I just had it in my brain.
Who's the main focus? Who's the star?
Okay. I don't like any of the episodes that focus on Lwaxana Troi. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm not a huge fan of her arcs in the show, other than the one about Diana Troy's sibling.
Yes,
that's a really good episode. Yeah,
that was a good episode. That one is genuinely heartbreaking.
But like the one where other than the part where Patrick Stewart does poetry to the Ferengi. That's the only good part of that episode. I think that whole episode is pretty bad.
Yeah, I will also agree that Lwaxana Troi, I did not like at the time. I did not care for her as a character. Mm-hmm. Looking back on it, I have a much more of an appreciation for what she did. Mostly just because it's the contributions of Majel Barrett.
She's great. She is great.
Majel Barrett rules. I will also say in Star Trek Picard season 3, you do hear Majel Barrett's voice at one point, and I was bawling.
Well, she's the
And she's dead.
She's the voice of the computer.
Not just that, she's the voice of the computer of the Enterprise.
Yes.
That's why she is as like beloved as she is because you heard her every episode. And she did such a fucking great job.
You thought I was gonna say I hated Q? Nah, dog. Those episodes are some of my favorites. Fucking.
I'm gonna be real with you. The Q episodes, I don't care for them myself. I love the relationship between Picard and Q, which is explored in season 2 of Picard. But the Q episodes are fucking annoying.
I like
except
Tapestry
for Tapestry. Tapestry is like the one major exception.
I like Q.
Other than when they're like in Robin Hood times. There's a bunch of very funny bits.
Fucking Worf smashing Geordi's loot is like one of my favorite fucking parts.
Sir, I must protest. I am not a merry man. I think my favorite Worf lines, though, are from Deep Space Nine. Specifically, Take Me Out to the Holosuite. Did you ever get to those episodes? Where they're playing baseball against Vulcans?
No, I never got there.
That episode fucking owns.
Do you know what the last episode I remember watching is?
Which one?
It's pretty fucking bad. It's the one where Worf is teaching Quark on how, like, Klingon women courting goes.
Oh, God.
I'm like, this is dog shit. I had to, like, stop watching. I was like, this is bad.
Yeah, I've said it before on this show, and I'll say it again. Deep Space Nine did 0 favors for Worf.
The best part is when he commits domestic terrorism.
When he commits domestic terrorism on a pleasure planet.
Because he doesn't want to go there with Jadzia Dax. Who wouldn't want to go there with Jadzia Dax, you fuck?
Right? Hello, it's Jadzia fucking Dax. Oh, God. Take Me Out to the Holosuite is easily one of my favorite episodes of Deep Space Nine. It is 100% a bottle episode. It is a throwaway episode. They're playing baseball against Vulcans. It's so much fun.
That sounds
There's
fun.
a point. There's a point where the ball is getting away and Nog is in the outfield and he's like, "What should I do?" And Worf just cries out, "Find him and kill him!" And then they're doing bants where they're going like, hey bada hey bada that kind of thing. Worf's idea of banter is death to the opposition.
That's awesome.
It's so good. I love that episode so much. It's so much fun.
You know what? When I first started watching Deep Space Nine, I did not think fucking baseball was going to be that big a fucking
Oh,
theme.
it's big. I love that baseball is so big in Deep Space Nine. It's so much
Benjamin
fun.
Sisko's fucking obsessed.
Sisko's obsessed. He's got a baseball on his desk. I've got a baseball on my desk. Found it in a field.
He is like it seems like every episode as he's recanting like the lesson that everyone learned, he's always just playing with a baseball.
Yeah. He's just idly tossing that ball around. It's very fun. It's a shame Avery Brooks is such a weirdo.
He just doesn't like the fandom,
Nope. It's that, and he just viewed it as a job.
That sucks.
It was a job to him. It wasn't anything other than that. And also,
I'm not okay. To be fair to him, I'm not gonna stand here and say that I think that if you do one thing and it's a big cash cow, you should have to like super enjoy it or ride off that success your entire life. I don't think that's true. But
100%.
like, how could you not like watch it and be like, you know what? I'm glad I was a part of this. It's like a big legacy thing.
Something. I was part of. I mean, most actors in Star Trek view themselves as being part of a family.
Yeah.
The other thing that did no favors for him was the way that he was edited in the documentary that Shatner produced, The Captains. There was a point where he's and it's not explicitly shown because it's kind of a you have to see what the production was like sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Where he was being asked questions he didn't want to answer. And so he was just being weird and eccentric where he would just get up and start playing the piano and singing in front of Shatner. And so that documentary painted him out to be a total fucking nutso. And it's such a disservice to Avery Brooks and like what he brings as an actor and what he brought to Star Trek in general. There's so much more to it than he's a classic actor. He's trained. I mean, he is an eccentric person, but he's not batshit insane like that documentary would have you believe.
I think he should be celebrated among like Shatner and Picard. I think he should be among those. And like and he 100%
is.
Yeah, before I started watching Deep Space Nine, I didn't even know like anything about it, and it's a damn shame because like I think he should be as well known to a general audience as Picard and Kirk.
He absolutely should.
Because he's great. He's fucking great.
I mean, the thing that people didn't like about Deep Space Nine was not Avery Brooks. It was Star Trek bringing in. I mean, it wasn't on a ship anymore at that point. It wasn't
that part. It wasn't so like.
It wasn't them visiting new planets every week. It was a stationary set, and they dived into topics that people don't necessarily want to go into. They were going into politics. They were going into religion. They were going into all these things that people were upset about at the time, where it's just like, I'm watching a space sci-fi show. I want to see them zip around in the Starship Enterprise. And it's like,
I get it.
We're obviously getting something bigger here. Come on.
I get it. Right? Yeah. They're trying to do something new, and I love it. Like, I actually really like Deep Space Nine a lot.
Deep Space Nine, genuinely, like, of the series before New Trek, Deep Space Nine is, like, in my opinion, best Trek. Next Generation has my nostalgia vote, but I think Deep Space Nine is ultimately overall better.
We talked about it a while ago, and I said that I think the way I would put it is Next Gen has higher highs, but Deep Space Nine is more consistently good.
Yes. And then Voyager is just kind of consistently meh. It has really high highs and really low lows, but overall, it's just kind of meh.
You want to talk about Warp 10?
That episode was good up until they were like salamanders. There is a lot, like if you go back and watch Threshold, there's a lot that is good in Threshold.
Yes.
For those who have not seen it, I'm going to spoil it right now, so you don't have to watch it if you don't want to.
It's not a great episode of Shrek, to be fair.
It's not a great episode, but it's good up until they get weird. So what happens, if you don't know Voyager is stuck in the Delta Quadrant, which is the complete opposite side of the galaxy, and they're making their way home. And it's going to take them like 70 some odd years to change.
So it's a big adventure of them trying to get back to their quadrant. That's it. And it's really cool. That's a gregreat concept.
It's a great premise for Star Trek. I mean, it's literally Lost in Space, but Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a cool series where you get to see all these different alien species and all these different alien landscapes, and they go into the Borg and. What's stronger than the Borg. It's very cool. But at the same time, you get stinkers like Threshold, where they figure, because they're, throughout the show, they're constantly trying to find ways to get home faster. And so there's the idea of a theoretical limit to how fast their warp engines can go. And that theoretical limit is warp 10. Because it's not super well understood outside of the canon, but it's assumed that each warp level, like warp 1, warp 2, warp whatever, is a factor of the speed of light.
Yes.
So, in theory,
warp 1 would be speed of light.
Yeah, if you're going warp 5, you're going 5 times faster than the speed of light in warping space around you. You're going to warp. So, and again, the theoretical limit of that is warp 10 times faster than the speed of light. The idea is that if you hit that number with your engines, you are going you're folding space so much that you are effectively you're everywhere all at once. You're everything everywhere all at once in your spaceship.
Yes.
And the idea is that you traveling at warp 10 are in every single conceivable point of the universe all at once.
You cease to be traveling. What is the general idea? You are not traveling anymore. You are.
And so they figure out and again, we're at the good part of the episode where they're doing the calculations, they're doing the technobabble, they're doing the math, quote unquote, to figure out how to get to warp 10 so that they can get home in the blink of an eye. And theoretically, it should work, right? Where they're making it happen, they're getting all the calculations, everything seems to be going fine. And then they hit warp 10, they go for a little bit, and then they're like, oh shit, something's wrong, we got to shut it down, what's going on? And the way that they do this is they've got a shuttle from Voyager out in front of their warp bubble, and the shuttle is essentially guiding them through this warp bubble, doing the calculations, sending them back to Voyager so that it all works, right? Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So they hit the warp 10 limit, and in this shuttle are the pilot, Lieutenant Paris, and the captain, Captain Janeway. Mm-hmm. And they hit warp 10, something goes wrong, they have to shut it down. And so the rest of the episode, which is like the last third or quarter of the episode, they slowly devolve into salamanders, and then they're like, and then the rest of the crew is like, well, we can't keep them on the ship, so let's put them on this planet over here. So they drop them off at a planet. Salamander Paris and Salamander Janeway crawl into a bush and they fuck, and then they're human again.
And that's the end of the episode.
That's Threshold. It's never brought up again. It's never. It's a stupid episode. At that point.
Okay.
The first, I once again, I will argue, the first 2/3 of that episode are good. It is solid Trek. They're doing Technobabble. They're doing calculations. They've got a theory. They're working through it. They're doing stuff like they should in Star Trek. And then they turn into fucking salamanders.
Okay, here is the perfect comparison to how different the writing was in Next Gen to Voyager, right? Okay, in Voyager, they turn into salamanders and it is never mentioned again, okay? In fucking Next Gen, Picard becomes a fucking Borg, right?
Yes.
And then that has long-lasting, consequences to him mentally.
It comes up in Picard in the series.
It comes up a lot. They bring it up a lot.
So much. There are people who, without spoiling anything, if you haven't seen Picard, there are people who are. It comes up in Deep Space Nine. There are people who are genuinely traumatized by what Picard does. Not Picard.
That's the very beginning of Deep Space Nine.
Yes. That's the very beginning of Deep Space Nine, was the idea that, Picard is captured by the Borg, and there's the Battle of Wolf 359, where tens of thousands of people are killed, and the reason that people are so, bent out of shape out of Picard being who Picard is because he was the one who was assimilated and sort of led the Battle of Wolf 359. And I mean, one character in Star Trek Star Trek Picard season 3, he's the captain of the ship. That's his big hang up to Picard being on the ship, is the Battle of Wolf 359, because he had this moment where during the Battle of Wolf 359, his commanding officer was like, you get on the escape pod, and the rest of you stay here and die. And so that traumatic event, I mean, the event of Picard being assimilated and turned into Locutus, it has far-reaching implications throughout, like, every Trek series. Mm-hmm. And that's the one story beat that they keep coming back to.
It is, to be fair,
which is good.
Exceedingly
it's a
fucking
good
compelling
storyline.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially, like the aftermath of that, where he's with Robert at the at Chateau Picard, and how
that episode tugged on my fucking heartstrings.
They did Robert dirty by just killing him off screen in a fucking house fire. Chateau Picard just burns to the fucking ground at the beginning of Generations, and it's like, oh hey, by the way, your brother and nephew are dead.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's it. They did those two dirty, and I wish they hadn't done that.
The episode's very good, though.
What, Generations?
No, the episode is the fucking
afterward. I don't remember what it is, but they go back. He goes back to France. He's like, Picard has even offered a position like, hey, here's this archaeological position. It's super safe. Do you want it? And Picard's like, nah.
It's not. And like, at the end of the day, like, I like it because he goes back to France to kind of like get all his shit together.
He's trying to recover.
Yeah, and he goes, and while by all accounts he probably should take a position that's a little bit safer, but
yes.
At the end of the day, he's true to himself and knows that he would absolutely fucking hate every minute of it because he wouldn't be the commander of the Enterprise anymore.
He's not doing what he does. I mean, in Generations, there is a moment when Kirk is dying, and he's like holding Picard's hand, and he's like, whatever they do, don't let them promote you. Don't give up that chair. And Picard's like, yeah, I won't. And then he's an admiral.
Not well.
But like, it's such a poignant moment between him and Kirk.
It's really, you know what? It's
the legendary captain of Star Trek. Like the one that most people are like, yeah, I've watched Star Trek. I love Kirk and Spock. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
so within the cultural zeitgeist that
it's so within that. And then like for him to be essentially, I mean, a decade late, passing the torch onto Picard like that.
Yeah. It's fascinating, really, because in Generations there is that line, and it's so poignant if you've watched the Star Trek motion picture, because like that's the first time that they go back to the ship, and it's really interesting. It's just fascinating. There's a lot of like interconnecting tissue, but then we get back to Threshold. There isn't any.
No.
And that's
I still argue it's a good episode up until the salamander bullshit.
No, it is good up until the salamander bullshit.
It's not one of the best episodes anyway.
No, it is absolutely, like, if you cut out the salamander bullshit, it is definitely not like one of the best episodes of Voyager, but it's not bad. It's got a lot of like classic Trek tropes that they adapt for Voyager itself. But it's Threshold. It has that reputation.
If you hit it just right, you can.
Whoa.
Whoa! Holy shit! If you get a good running start, hold on. Let me see if I can do this.
Woo!
Okay, let me. Oh damn! I think I jumped way too early. Damn. Okay. Anyway,
It's this main roof right here.
The door also. God damn it.
Yeah, I will 100% defend Threshold up until that point.
Yeah, then all
And I
defense
have.
I don't think you could possibly defend that. The very end.
It is genuinely not the worst episode of Trek. The last third of that episode is. The rest of it, solid. Not great. It's very much. I mean, one of my favorite lines of History of the World Part 1 is Caesar, where he watches an act and he just goes, nice. Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
You know what pisses me off?
One of my favorite lines. I fucking love that.
You know what pisses me off?
What pisses you the fuck
brings my
off?
fucking piss to
What
a
makes
boil.
you ready to punch a child?
They're making History of the World Part 2.
It's a TV series.
Yeah, they made it, or rather.
Yeah, they made History of the World. I was kind of excited just because it's like, holy shit, he's actually doing it. But at the same time, Mel Brooks is like 90 billion years old.
Yeah, I
don't
know if it was his decision necessarily.
It probably wasn't, but Mel Brooks is definitely one of those old comedy guys who are like, the kids today, you can't tell jokes.
Yeah.
Which it's like,
Blazing
fine,
Saddles.
I love your line of work. You know, I love what you've done for comedy in general. Blazing Saddles fucking rules. Obviously, you can't make it today. Everyone's heard that argument.
Yeah.
But, damn, dude. It's disappointing.
That was the whole joke. That there was never going to be a part 2.
Yeah.
And
that was the
whole
joke of it.
They ruined it. I feel like that ruins it to some degree.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm not bitter about it. I'm really not, because
it's
like,
just
I don't
it's just
have
kind
the
of one of
patience.
those. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, man, that's a thing. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, who's gonna fucking watch that shit?
I mean, I've got to watch. I've still got to watch Star Trek Prodigy, which I will at some point. It's the kids' Star Trek, but from what I hear, it's fantastic Trek. And Robert Beltran is even in it as Chakotay.
What is the episode of Next Gen where Guinan, not Kieran Reese, Jesus, fucking the Bajoran, Picard, Ensign Rowe, yeah. What, like, they turn into children? Do you remember that episode?
Yes, I remember. That is not a good episode
No,
either.
It's not great. I think it's funny, at least, though.
It's very funny, but it's not a good episode. It's very much like, I mean, for those who haven't seen it, Guinan, Rowe, and Picard are turned into children.
More. I think it maybe Geordi? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't Geordi. I think it was just those three. They're turned into children, and at one point, Picard has to act like Riker has to act like he's Picard's dad. It's very funny. And child Picard, like, he has to throw a tantrum at one point in order to, like, create a distraction. It's kind of funny.
It's just interesting to have that character in that position. I think that's why I like it. It's not a great episode by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
I think it's fun, at least. It's a nice, like, throwaway episode.
One. Yeah, it was a fun bottle. It definitely was not like anything of substance.
See, okay. Episodes like that, yeah. You could have those just as throwaways. But, like, you get devolved and then have sex and children and turn back into humans for no reason. Mm-hmm. It's kind of more important.
I'm not saying the last third of Threshold is good.
And I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm saying, like, I'm just reiterating our point that it's like there should have been something.
There should have been some. At the very least, and I've said this before, at the very least, Roddenberry had writers to rein his ass in. Mm-hmm.
He was dead by that point, wasn't he?
He was dead at that point, unfortunately. But there were a lot of things he wanted to do in like next gen, and it was like, thank God he had writers.
Yeah.
Unlike the Star Wars guy,
George Lucas.
Lucas didn't have writers. He was just like, I want this to happen, and then they're like, yes sir, yes sir.
Where the fuck is this fucking thing on this roof? Like, what am I missing on this roof here? Oh my god, I did it. Fuck. Okay. Gates.
Yeah, this gate right here, Gates McFadden, right here. Got it. There's another thing over here.
Posts. There's one of the posts. It's not clean.
Speaking of posts, did you know Post Malone lives in Utah?
I didn't know that.
I can point to exactly where his house is.
That's weird. You probably shouldn't do that.
Well, I know where it is because the ownership of the house is listed under an LLC. The LLC is Whoa Cool House.
That's cool.
LLC. It's very funny.
Timber frames. One of the framing struts is not clean. Remember, you can highlight it and it'll glow.
Yeah.
I got it here.
Cellar door handles.
Side gable roof. What the fuck's a Chad gable? And side wall?
The gable is the pointy bits.
See, I work at a company that makes like houses and shit, and I had no idea that that's what a gable was.
I work at a company that, I tell people how to build foundations, not necessarily walls or shit. I'm not a structural engineer. Oh, that.
It's this right here, this part of the roof. There we go. Side. Got
it. Hey, check me out. Look up here.
I'm watching the replay.
Oh.
Mario. It's Mario. You're still Mario. Please leave. You're Mario.
There was a Flash animation. Oh, I don't remember what it was called. I could probably find it on like a albino black sheep or something.
Mario twins.
Yes, Mario twins.
They look the same.
They look so much like the goddamn same.
Shwiggity shwiggity shwa.
Every now and then, 55 gets stuck in my head.
I can count all the way to
55.
You wanna see it, baby?
Okay. Alright.
One. Two.
No, it's schwam.
Do and half.
14.
14.
27. Half.
Shwiggity shwa.
27, 37, 57. What'd you say? Shiggity shwo, 55.
My IQ is 55.
Girlfriend's age, 55. My IQ is 50. I have not watched that video in 15 years.
You know what?
And I can still quote it.
There are some important things in life that you just you don't realize how much it impacts you until...
There's the things that you hang on to.
Yeah.
The childish things you don't put away.
It's true. It's important. Project X is, or whatever the fuck the band is called. They only made, I think, those two songs. They may have made more.
I think they probably did, but those were the two that got big.
Yeah, viral before
big,
viral was a thing.
Yeah. Every now and then, I think of French erotic film.
I haven't thought of that in 20 fucking years.
If you don't know, listeners, viewers, animutation was a trend back in like the mid-early aughts where music would be set. They would have some music playing, and it was kind of like Monty Python-esque
animations where like the the bottom half of the mouth was cut out, and it was just like, it's hard to explain without actually showing. But there was one that was called French erotic film, and it was a mistransliteration of a Dutch like children's song.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like French erotic film, but it was about like a crocodile or something in the Netherlands.
You ever seen a penny farthing in real life?
Nope.
They're weird.
They're very strange. I don't know how you get on one.
The spoke, you put your feet right here, and then you hip.
Okay. Oh no, I am being shoved.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, this one
process.
sucks.
Yeah. We're almost done.
It's good
now.
we're getting it out of the way.
Yeah, I didn't want to save this for next time.
Yeah, this one would have sucked to come back to.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up Black Mesa the other day
Oh yeah.
because it was on sale for like $5.
Oh yeah.
I have not gotten much far into it. I have played all of Half-Life 1 and the DLCs, so I know how it goes. Very interested to see that you don't just get the crowbar at first. You got to find security guys to lead you around.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
I hear it's pretty good.
I'll probably go back to it just because, I mean, it uses the updated Source engine.
Source 2.
Yep. And, I mean, I loved Half-Life. I loved Half-Life, Blue Shift.
We
Green-
played all of 2 on stream. Do you remember that?
We did.
That's one of my favorite streams we've ever done.
That was a fun stream.
It was really...
I mean, I just remember getting the train.
I remember, yeah, getting
we were
hit by the
driving
train
at it.
and getting. Oh yeah, you and Dustin were in one car, and me and Ellie were in the other car, and I get catapulted 45 miles in the other direction, and you and Dustin just get hit by the fucking train.
Yeah.
Oh my god, fuck the penny farthing, god damn.
We did it.
Alright. Might be able to knock
This
this
one's,
out.
yeah, the penny farthing sucks.
We might be able to knock this one out pretty quick.
Oh god.
I want to get to like the next group of them, if we can.
Yeah.
And this is the last one before the next group.
Sweet.
Oh my god, that's a lot of rust.
Damn, who set the fire truck on fire?
Can you see it yet?
All this crud.
Is it out in the distance yet?
What?
No? Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Out in the distance?
We'll start to see something here soon. Don't worry.
Are we gonna start to see Eldritch Horrors?
No, not really. I have such things to show you, Spader.
Excellent.
What was the last movie we watched in movie night? Jay, are you still here? 'Cause I'm pretty sure you were there. Was it fucking Fast and the Furious 2? Was that seriously the fucking last movie we watched?
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah. Jay's there at like almost every movie night.
I thought they were done with that series.
It's
and
still
then they're
going.
Like, here's 11.
They're releasing...
fuck?
10 just came out.
I thought I saw like a release.
11's
announcement
coming.
for
They
11.
definitely announced 11.
Yeah.
But we were gonna watch all of them, and then... Well, Tyler suggested it, and then Tyler didn't want to watch them, so I didn't want to watch them. Because it's fucking funny to watch it with someone who also thinks it's equally shit. But then I just didn't want to put it on, and then I didn't want to watch a movie.
I mean, aren't those movies good?
The later ones.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, there's a reason they keep making them. There has to be.
They start out as like weird racing movies, and then they just become like
And then it becomes
really
about family.
elaborate heist movies.
Yeah. About family.
They shove a car through a building
That rules.
in 5, I think. Ronda Rousey's in that one. She doesn't say anything, which is exactly. I don't know. Okay, I have a problem, right, with because she's in the WWE, and she doesn't have any mic skill, like whatsoever. And so like they probably should have just like gave her a manager. That's the whole point of managers. It's like when people don't have any mic skills, you give them somebody who's really good on the mic, so they don't have to fucking talk. Make it like a female Brock Lesnar. That's what I would have done.
There you go.
You may be mad at me. Well, not really, but after Too Fast, you binged the rest.
How
Why?
fucking could you? No, it's fine.
It is fine. But why? Is it because we skipped? We were gonna skip Tokyo Drift anyway. Because it's apparently a future film. It's not even like the chronological order. We're gonna watch 1, 2, 4, 5. Tokyo Drift 6, I think, is how it goes. What about the Teriyaki Boys, Jay? Come on, are you gonna do wrong by them? Gonna do wrong by the Teriyaki Boys?
Gotta eat that teriyaki. Oh, finally.
Bruh.
Bruh.
You can tell it's not an American game because they spell tire stupid.
I was wondering why I just suddenly had 6 tags on Discord. Then I remembered because you had to keep going out.
Oh yeah.
You kept cutting out. I was like,
Forgot
what
about
the
that.
fuck? Oh, right, because you kept going live.
I'm glad that happened early-ish in the stream,
Yeah.
and then it fixed itself. Cool. Oh god, I forgot about the top of the fucking thing.
Yo, you got a top. You can't forget about...
Don't worry, I top.
Mm-mm.
I told you. What did I say at the beginning of the stream?
You top.
We talk about sex every fucking stream.
Yeah.
Oh.
It always comes down...
You
it
know
always
what?
comes
Let me
down
just
to
say,
that,
it's
doesn't it?
usually my fault.
Yeah.
It's fine. Nothing wrong with
That's
it.
fine. We have fun around here.
We do.
We like to have fun.
We enjoy having fun. Did you notice where we were, also? We're at the firehouse we cleaned.
Oh, yeah, we cleaned that. Look at that.
Certainly did.
They like our business. How cool is that? It's a shame my gigantic cock is just not on display anymore. Because I had to clean it up.
Yeah. Come on. We can do it. I believe in us. Let me see if I can... Hold on one second. Let me see if... put some metal cleaner on this thing. Oh my god. What a difference. Just eliminates the fucking rust. Look at this shit.
Does it really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just gone. Wham. I'm just gonna go over all the fucking parts that are fucking difficult. Okay, but... Oh, the truck is done.
Ooh! Grill is done. Where the fuck?
Okay, ladder. We're almost done. There's a scene in Too Fast, Too Furious where Paul Walker is like, he brings on his friend to this heist, right? Mm-hmm. And because he used to be a cop, but now he's on the run from the cops because he let Dominic Toretto go. Anyway, so it's really funny because Paul Walker, the whitest white guy to ever white, is like, he's supposed to be like, you know, kind of this hardcore, thuggish kind of guy, and him and his friend are like, his friend goes to him, he's like, so you let that guy go, huh? He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, I can't just not worry about it. It's an important part of this whole thing. You've been keeping a secret from me. He's like, and it zooms in on Paul Walker's face and it goes, don't worry about it, cuh. And it makes me laugh really hard.
Very white man saying cuh.
Cuh? Don't worry about it, cuh. I'm like, come on now. That shit look like a deal, though. I ain't playing no games with no deal, though. You ever seen that part? You ever seen that video? You never seen Chad Warden?
I don't think I have, no.
Fuck, okay, I have to send that to you.
Yeah. Oh, handle.
It's this guy talking about the PS3. It's really funny. I quote it a lot. Come on now. The Wii? That shit look like a deal, though. I ain't playing no games with no deal, though. Halo? They should have called that shit Galo. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's fun.
That was just like the like literally his best bird.
Ah, it's this one.
Hey.
Got him.
Oh, we did it. We cleaned so many things today.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's do a little preview for next time.
All right, what do we got? What's coming up next?
It's Walter's Winnebago.
Hey, Walter. Oh wait, I want to see if I can get.
How tiny can I make a little?
Yeah, that works.
Look at mine. Look at mine over here.
Well, see, I didn't make a penis. I just wrote clean me. Oh, look at that! That's a little tiny pee-pee.
That's a little pee-pee. And then I have this wavy one up here, but you can hardly see it. Oh, that's much better. That's a fucking massive vein, goodness me. Anyway. Fuck.
Alright.
I just never want to fucking stop playing. Like, this game's fucking good. And
It's very good. I like it. I like this video game. I'm enjoying having a time with my friend.
Well, yeah. That's it, guys, for tonight. Saturday, be sure to tune in because we're doing it with the second pub quiz from Undead Samurai. Yay! We did the first one, and people really liked it, and that was like 3 years ago. So we're gonna do a second one. Finally, because I've been planning my Saturday streams out, and I didn't have something for next week, so we put it in there. So we got on the 13th. That's the pub quiz. Be sure to tune in.
Hey everyone. Oh no, that was last month. Never mind. I was gonna say it's Mod Appreciation Day, but I looked at the time that announcement came out. It was a month ago.
Never mind.
May board game night is the 20th, May 20th, and then the 27th, guys. That's the big 24-hour stream.
Ooh!
It's coming up very fucking fast.
I'm excited.
2 weeks from Saturday.
I'm hype. Hey, y'all, get hype. We're gonna play Civ.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the first weekend of June is the return of marbles. So the Gels Marble League game. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got time for. That's all we got time for. That's it. That's all we got.
That's it.
Send us off.
I didn't.
I can't do a fucking Quark. He just sounds like a person. I can't. Like, he doesn't have a funny voice.
It kind of sounds a little bit like this sometimes.
There you go. You just fucking did it yourself.
No, you have to do it. I made the points happen.
I'm gonna refund your points.
I don't care.
I'm gonna refund your
These
points.
are fake internet points. Fine.
Yeah, you should care. You should care. Okay?
Human.
These are real.
Human.
I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do a good.
Human.
I already refunded your points. I'm not doing it. Anyway,
Fine.
Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna get out of here.
All right.
I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go honk shoe.
Yeah, honk shoe.
Same.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.
Night.
Bye.